Welcome! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. It's that time of year again, folks. It's the time when the leaves start changing colors and blowing off of trees. It's that time of year where we start making bulk orders from our local florist. It's that time of year where we pay a visit to our winery, or the nearest, cheapest liquor store you can think of. And of course, it's that time of year again when we break out the chocolate and the ring pops. All of this to mark one special occasion that happens tonight on ABC. The Bachelorette's return! That's right! We were promised 2 seasons this year, Bachelor Nation, and guess what? Part 2 begins tonight. Michelle Young will begin her very own journey to find Mr. White, whoever that may be, with the returning hosts Caitlin Bristow and Tayshia Adams lending a helping hand and sisterly mentorship. And around here, you also know what that means, right? We're not only going to be highlighting one of the finest, if somewhat flawed, guilty pleasure institutions in all of American pop culture, we're also going to highlight another one that belongs in the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned. And that would be, in just 3 letters, PLL. Pretty Little Liars. That is my heart and soul. All this culminates in one of my all-time favorite series to do on this channel. You know what that is? That's right! Woozers and Woozwood! For tonight's off-read, I have here People Magazine purchased for 99 cents. The date of publication is in the title of the video because, well, whoever previously owned this took off a good chunk of the cover. I get why he or she did it, for security purposes because of the address label. If this person would have just took off the address label, it would have been fine, but automatically I had to take off points for a good chunk of the cover being torn away. Nevertheless, this is a double issue, and the double in the double issue, well, it's People Magazine's annual treat for sore eyes. It is their Sexiest Men Alive issue, and the one to take the crown in 2020 was Michael B. Jordan, Lori Harvey's muse. Plus 158 other guys who made 2020 bearable. Dashing, driven, and daring. We also have here a Grey's Anatomy reunion with Dr. McDreamy, Patrick Dempsey, and Britney's battle with her now ex-conservative father. You know Britney Spears, right? And Britney, even though the war is far from over, it's good to see that in your battle, you're reaching giant steps towards the finish line. And you also took a little victory lap in your love life in your engagement towards your boyfriend, Sam. So, without further delay, let's get right into this jam-packed review in this jam-packed magazine. And we start on the Rosewood side of the spectrum with a visit to the Bachelor Mansion in Malibu, which will not be utilized for this season of The Bachelorette, and I don't think may ever be utilized for a while, curse you COVID-19. But if you want to rent a Malibu home on Airbnb, where former host Chris Harrison used to reign as vice president of Bachelor Nation, just make sure you're there for the right reasons and can spare $6,000 a night. If you had 6,000 G's to spare, would you spend a night in the Bachelor Mansion as a quick getaway? Let me know. If you do so, mandatory Bachelor/Bachelorette 2-on-1 dates. Because you want to bring a guest along, don't you? Anyway, as you know, the Bachelor franchise is on a journey in its own right in diversifying its class of suitors. So naturally, we're going to diverse our highlight reel in Roses and Rosewood, and not just highlight The Bachelor or Pretty Little Liars, but we also got some WWE content in here. Like here, engaged in the Hot Monitor section, Ryan Cabrera and Alexa Bliss. I'm whispering her name because I don't want to activate my Echo Go right over there, my Amazon Echo show. After a year of dating, the On the Way Down singer proposed to WWE star Bliss on November 14th. It's just the beginning, he announced on Instagram. The former boy band frontman previously dated Ashley Simpson and Audrina Patridge. Well, Alexa, I hope you two continue to play Firefly Funhouse for a long time, but not that way. Because if I didn't know any better, I'd say, due to your new character now, Alexa, you'd be spending an awful lot of time in Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. And you need to stop because I don't like your character right now. Now, onto a piece that really reminds me of my stepdad. At home with The Undertaker, the family man behind the WWE legend. After 30 years in the ring, Mark Calloway reflects on his career and catching up on lost time as a dad. This is Jason Dwayne Hahn's article. So this is The Undertaker, my stepdad's all-time favorite wrestler back when he was a WWE fanatic, alongside daughter Kaya and wife, former Divas champion Michelle McCool. This two-page article offers brief statistics about The Undertaker's storied career as a 7-time WWE champion and longest streak holder in WrestleMania history in the span of 3 decades. This also catches up on his quarantine time with wife Michelle and daughter Kaya, and how they both started a family. Every time I watch The Undertaker on my DVDs or on WWE on YouTube, well, I can't help but be reminded of my stepdad. He would go nuts after hearing the gong entrance theme with the crowd roaring every single time. I mean, The Undertaker was the darkest face in World Wrestling Entertainment history. My stepdad would go bonkers. How I miss him. And consequently, how I miss The Undertaker. We move on to a very wise and fitting quote for the next highlight from Lady Whistledown of the Netflix smash hit, the Emmy Award-winning Bridgerton. Be it shame or slander, seduction or smear, handsome men should never be trusted. I find that fitting. Normally, I don't highlight Bridgerton because I don't watch Bridgerton, but I find this quote to be incredibly appropriate for one of the men in the Sexiest Men Alive issue who, for a brief period of time, wasn't to be trusted at all. We'll get to him a little bit later. But first, we highlight some sexy social media stars according to People magazine. And the person taking the crown this year, well, last year, Shawn Mendes. A mix of steamy shirtless snaps and sweet puppy posts on the Canadian wonder singer, and of course Camila Cabello's moves, more than 56 million Instagram followers. Well, Mr. Senorito, your crown is well deserved. Runners up, Jason Derulo, Jake Gyllenhaal, Justin Bieber. And Tyler Cameron, Bachelorette fan favorite, who had a brief summer fling with Gigi Hadid that was very well documented, only for Tyler to end up also single again, and for Gigi to once again reunite with Zayn Malik, formerly of One Direction fame. Oh, and about Netflix hot moms, I'm surprised that Rachel's on page of Bridgerton is not featured in this section. No, they went the easy route and highlighted Noah Centineo from To All the Boys fame, all 3 films. I don't know where it comes from, he said regarding his character's charm, and of course, the actor's charm. Finally, it's not secret barely who. Cats are Insta famous too. And before I get to the obvious reason why I'm highlighting this section, let's get to the not so obvious reason. Bobby Flay and his loyal feline friend, Nacho. The chef is besotted with his fluffy orange Maine Coon cat, who is often joined by his feline sister Stella on his own Instagram account, which boasts 212,000 followers and more as of the date of this recording. He also used to have a cat named Taco. But you know what? Why not just seal the deal, get a little chihuahua, and name him or her Chalupa? A chihuahua named Chalupa. That is a $500,000 idea right there. And by the way, I don't actually have a pet. I used to have goldfish. Now, let's bring it all home with the Rosewood side of the spectrum. The one and only Keegan Allen with his feline friend, Tyne, which is exactly how you pronounce his cat's name. Not Tin, Tyne. By the way, Tyne has more than 39,000 followers on Instagram. I don't talk a lot about Keegan Allen here, but you know darn well that I am a firm shipper of Spoby. And we all know the Spoby story and how it began, right? Toby was one of those folks who was not to be trusted. He was the stepbrother of Jenna Marshall, one of the enemies of the Liars, whom they blindsided in a freak accident. Eventually, he became a trusted ally for Spencer. They later fell in love, and well, the rest is PLO history. He was not to be trusted for a period of time because he provided quite a heartbreaking, heart-stopping shocker to the PLO army when it was confirmed at the end of Season 3 that he would be joining the A-Team, or the end of the first half of Season 3. We all saw him in that black hoodie, and let me tell you, the response from PLO fans all over the world was shocking. But Spoby shippers stood by him and Spencer because they thought that Toby was joining the enemies, the A-Team, to protect, as he said, the one person in this world that mattered most to him more than anyone else, Spencer. And for that I say, that's true love, and that's why Spoby was, is, and will remain endgame in my book forever. Keegan Allen, you kick ass. And by the way, your cat does too. I also want to extend condolences on the loss of your lovely mother, Joan. One more Bachelor-related note. Couple Jade and Tanner Tolbert welcomed their third child into the world, a son. And baby makes 3. Well, actually 5, but you get the math. There's no photo of the couple or the growing family in People magazine, so I didn't highlight it for this review, but I didn't want to let that go entirely. Well, folks, I say there was a rather jam-packed issue of People magazine nonetheless, and an equally jam-packed review. Once again, for the cover defect, I gotta ding it a little bit, but I think 4.5 out of 5 claps, as per the use, is a fine rating for what many people will claim a rather fine issue of People magazine. Hello, Sexiest Men Alive? That is their annual site for sore eyes right there. Not for my sore eyes, but for women's sore eyes. And I hope one day people will do a Sexiest Bachelors and Bachelorettes Alive issues as a little spin-off of this. I wanted this to be a long-form episode of Roses and Rosewood like I've done the previous 2 times for The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise, but with so much going on this month on TSR, I didn't have time to cram a lot of stuff into this review. So hopefully this will suffice, and hopefully I surmise in December when the Bachelorette finale rolls around, when Michelle's ready to hand her final rose out, we'll have a long-form episode with a couple of us weekly magazines and a fun couples cookbook. But in the meantime, with the cooler fall temperatures now upon us, hopefully this hot issue of People magazine will provide some warmth in your house and in your heart. Thanks for watching. Michelle, Godspeed on your journey to find your person, no matter how bland that moniker might be for whoever ends up getting your final rose. As for all of you guys, for everyone who's been a part of this one, PLO Army, 2 can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Bachelor Nation, don't forget to stop and smell the roses, and I'll catch all of you on the flip side.